At 6 a.m. on December 10, 2025, elite Coast Guard forces fast-roped onto the deck of a 332-meter oil tanker in the Caribbean Sea. The crew didn't resist. The ship was under U.S. control within minutes. This is the full story of how the United States executed the most dramatic tanker seizure in over a decade, and what it means for the pressure campaign against Venezuela. The target was the MT Skipper, a very large crude carrier stretching 332 meters, longer than 3 football fields. Built in Japan in 2005, capable of carrying over 2 million barrels of oil. But the Skipper had a complicated past. In November 2022, the U.S. Treasury sanctioned this vessel under a different name, the Adisa. According to Treasury officials, the ship was part of a global network smuggling Iranian oil to fund Hezbollah and Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, both designated terrorist organizations. The network was allegedly run by Viktor Artimov, a Ukrainian oil trader based in Switzerland. His operation used shell companies across the Marshall Islands, Mauritius and Singapore to blend Iranian crude and disguise its origin. After being sanctioned, the Adisa simply changed its name to Skipper, switched flags, and kept operating. Maritime analysts flagged it for what they called deceptive shipping practices, turning off its transponder, broadcasting false positions, flying flags it wasn't entitled to. At the time of the seizure, the Skipper was digitally showing itself 360 nautical miles from its actual position. It was flying the flag of Guyana, but Guyana confirmed the ship was never registered there. Under international law, that made the Skipper a stateless vessel, fair game for any nation to board and seize. For months, the United States had been building the largest military presence in the Caribbean since 1962. At the center, the USS Gerald R. Ford, the most advanced aircraft carrier ever built. 100,000 tons, over 70 aircraft, a crew of approximately 5,000. The Ford entered the Caribbean on November 16th as part of Operation Southern Spear. With it came 3 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, the Iwo Jima Amphibious Ready Group with 3 amphibious ships in the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit with over 2,000 Marines. In total, approximately 15,000 American personnel. Venezuela responded by mobilizing its military. President Nicolás Maduro called it defense against imperialist intimidation. Meanwhile, on December 4th, the Skipper loaded approximately 1.8 million barrels of Venezuelan crude at Puerto Jose Terminal. It made a brief stop near Curaçao to transfer oil to a vessel bound for Cuba, then turned east toward Asia. A federal judge had signed a sealed seizure warrant on November 26th. The warrant was set to expire on December 10th. U.S. forces had been tracking the tanker. Time was running out. The boarding team came from the Coast Guard's Maritime Security Response Team, one of the most elite tactical units in American law enforcement. The MSRT is the Coast Guard's Tier 1 counterterrorism unit. There are only 2 in existence: MSRT East in Chesapeake, Virginia, and MSRT West in San Diego. These operators train alongside Navy SEALs and deploy worldwide for high-risk missions. The Direct Action Section handles the most dangerous assignments: close quarters combat, explosive breaching, hostile vessel takedowns. The Precision Marksman Observer Team provides sniper overwatch. The Tactical Delivery Team runs the insertion boats. There's a reason the Coast Guard leads these operations instead of the Navy. Under U.S. law, only the Coast Guard has federal law enforcement authority at sea. They can board, search, seize, and arrest. When there's a warrant to execute on a vessel in international waters, MSRT is who gets the call. They've supported counter-piracy operations off Somalia, provided security for presidential inaugurations, and executed some of the largest drug seizures in maritime history. But a boarding like this, fast roping onto a moving supertanker in open ocean, is exactly what they train for. December 10th, 6 a.m. local time. International waters between Grenada and Trinidad. 2 Navy helicopters lifted off from the USS Gerald R. Ford. According to officials who spoke to CBS News, the boarding force consisted of approximately 10 Coast Guard MSRT operators, 10 Marines and Special Operations Forces. The helicopters approached the skipper from behind, the blind spot. Fast roping is one of the most demanding insertion techniques in maritime operations. Operators descend a thick braided rope from a hovering helicopter using gloved hands and boots to control their descent speed. There's no safety harness. Video released by Attorney General Pam Bondi shows operators sliding down onto the skipper's deck, then moving through the ship's superstructure with weapons drawn. Once on deck, teams split to secure critical points. Bridge first, that's where you control the ship. Then crew quarters, engineering spaces, cargo holds. Precision marksmen establish overwatch. The crew cooperated immediately. According to U.S. officials, there was no resistance and no casualties on either side. Within minutes, the largest tanker seized in over a decade was under American control. The skipper was redirected to Galveston, Texas. The crew would be released upon arrival. The cargo, worth approximately $78 million, would be seized by the U.S. government. That afternoon, the Department of Justice unsealed the warrant. The seizure was authorized under terrorism financing statutes based on the skipper's alleged history of moving oil for designated terrorist organizations. President Trump announced the operation from the White House.
As you probably know, we've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually.
The United States seized 1.9 million barrels of oil on December 10th.
We're going to keep it. We're keeping it.
Where's it? Are we going to sell it or put it in the strategic?
Maybe we'll sell it. Maybe we'll keep it. Maybe we'll use it in the strategic reserves. We're keeping it. We're keeping the ships also.
Venezuela's foreign minister called it a blatant theft in an act of international piracy. Iran condemned the seizure as illegal under international law. Cuba called it maritime terrorism. U.S. officials maintained the operation was lawful. FBI Director Kash Patel said it highlights our successful efforts to impose costs on the governments of Venezuela and Iran. The skipper is one of approximately 30 sanctioned tankers operating near Venezuela. Many use the same evasion tactics: false flags, spoofed transponders, ship-to-ship transfers to hide their cargo. Following the operation, shipping in Venezuelan waters ground to a halt. According to Reuters, more than 30 tankers froze in place, fearing they could be next. Within a week, the Trump administration announced a blockade targeting additional sanctioned vessels. More seizures, officials said, could follow. With 15,000 personnel still in the Caribbean and the world's largest aircraft carrier on station, the United States has the capability to interdict any tanker it chooses. For Venezuela's shadow fleet, the calculus has changed. For Nicolas Maduro, it was a message. The pressure campaign is no longer theoretical. For the shadow fleet, it was a warning. If you found this breakdown useful, consider subscribing for more in-depth coverage of real military operations.